Religious purpose theory. This view says life's meaning comes from a higher power or divine plan. In many traditions, humans are created with a purpose set by God, and fulfillment comes from following that path. Meaning is not invented by individuals, but discovered through faith, obedience, and spiritual practice. For example, someone might dedicate their life to serving others because they believe it is part of God's will. It matters because it offers clear direction and a sense of cosmic significance. From here, we move to a very different idea that keeps meaning grounded in human experience. Hedonism. Hedonism argues that the meaning of life is to maximize pleasure and minimize pain. This can include simple joys, like good food, or deeper fulfillment, like meaningful relationships and peace of mind. Someone living this way might prioritize experiences that bring lasting happiness, like travel or time with loved ones. It matters because it treats feeling good as the ultimate goal. But instead of focusing only on personal pleasure, the next theory expands that idea to include everyone. Utilitarianism. This theory says life's meaning is about creating the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. Your purpose is tied to how your actions affect others. For example, a doctor working long hours to save lives may sacrifice personal comfort to benefit many people. It matters because it shifts focus from individual happiness to collective well-being. However, some thinkers go even further and question whether meaning exists at all. Existentialism. Existentialism claims there is no built-in meaning to life, and individuals must create their own. You are free, but also responsible for defining what matters. Someone might choose a career, a passion, or a cause and decide that is their purpose. It matters because it gives complete ownership of meaning to the individual. But if meaning is something we create, the next idea challenges whether it has any real weight. Nihilism. Nihilism states that life has no inherent meaning, value, or purpose. Any meaning we create is ultimately temporary and subjective. For example, achievements, relationships, and goals may feel important, but from this view, they do not matter in any ultimate sense. It matters because it strips away all assumed purpose. Yet instead of stopping there, another perspective responds to this emptiness in a unique way. Absurdism. Absurdism suggests humans naturally search for meaning, but the universe offers none, creating a constant conflict. Instead of resolving this, the idea is to accept it and keep living fully anyway. Imagine someone continuing to pursue passions and enjoy life even while knowing it has no ultimate purpose. It matters because it turns the struggle itself into something meaningful. From here, we shift to a more structured and classical idea of fulfillment: Eudaimonia. This concept defines meaning as living a life of virtue and reaching your full potential. It is less about momentary pleasure and more about long-term flourishing. For example, someone might focus on developing wisdom, discipline, and integrity over time. It matters because it connects meaning with becoming your best self. A closely related approach also emphasizes inner strength, but in a more practical way. Stoicism. Stoicism teaches that meaning comes from focusing on what you can control and accepting what you cannot. A person practicing this might remain calm during failure or loss, choosing to respond with reason instead of emotion. It matters because it builds resilience and inner peace regardless of circumstances. While this focuses on the individual, the next theory returns to a shared human perspective: humanism. Humanism finds meaning in human relationships, progress, and compassion without relying on the supernatural. It emphasizes improving lives through reason and empathy. For example, volunteering, creating art, or advancing science can all be sources of meaning. It matters because it grounds purpose in human connection. From here, we look at a more scientific explanation of why we even seek meaning at all. Evolutionary perspective. This view suggests that what we call meaning is rooted in survival and reproduction. Humans are driven to form relationships, achieve goals, and build societies because it helps the species continue. For example, the desire to have a family or succeed in life can be traced back to biological instincts. It matters because it explains the origin of our motivations. But what if reality itself isn't what it seems? Simulation theory. Simulation theory proposes that reality could be artificial, meaning life's purpose might be defined by whoever created the simulation. In this case, meaning could be hidden, assigned, or even irrelevant to us. For example, life might function like a game with unknown rules or objectives. It matters because it questions the foundation of existence itself.